Today, we explore how this date completely reshaped our world across five powerful dimensions: culture, education, finance, politics, and technology. This day proves that history never rests. Let's dive into the fascinating interconnected events of this date that continue to influence how we live, think, and innovate today. So, without much further ado, let's go.
So what do the theft of the world's most famous painting, the launch of the first intercontinental ballistic missile, and the birth of the progressive assembly line all have in common?
Well, they actually share the exact same birthday,
Mhm.
August 21st.
Right. And today's deep dive is really mapping out how this single calendar date repeatedly serves as a catalyst for these massive global paradigm shifts. I mean, we're talking culture, education, business, technology, politics.
Yeah, we're looking purely at the historical archives to see how one square on the calendar holds just so much consequence.
Exactly. So let's start with a sudden cultural vacuum. August 21st, 1911, over in Paris.
Oh, wait.
Vincenzo Perugia, who is a Louvre employee, literally just lifts the Mona Lisa right off the wall and walks out.
Walked right out the door.
Right. And overnight, this cornerstone of high culture is just deleted from public access.
It creates this immediate shock to the system.
Yeah.
But if we look back exactly 10 years earlier to August 21st, 1901, we see the precise opposite mechanism at play.
Who you mean?
Well, instead of this sudden removal of an artifact, we have the slow, systemic injection of an entirely new culture. So 600 American teachers,
Oh, the Thomasites?
right, the Thomasites, they arrived in Manila on the USA Taurus.
To establish a new English medium public school system, right? But practically speaking, how do 600 people re-educate an entire archipelago?
Well, they co-opted what was already there. The Spanish had actually laid down a rudimentary public education infrastructure back in 1863.
Okay, so they weren't starting from scratch.
Exactly. They leveraged that existing network. But they replaced the Spanish religious instruction with an American secular curriculum.
Wow.
And it was a highly methodical process that ultimately transformed the Philippines into the third largest English-speaking nation.
That's a massive shift.
Yeah, it's really a masterclass in projecting soft power, shaping a society from the classroom up,
Right.
rather than tearing it down in a single heist.
That makes total sense. But, once you scale up a population's capability like that, the physical infrastructure of society has to keep pace.
Right, the industry has to catch up.
Exactly. Which brings us to August 21st, 1897. Ransom Eli Olds founds the Olds Motor Vehicle Company.
And creates the progressive assembly line.
Yes.
By organizing production so the vehicle frame was pushed manually from one specialized station to the next, Olds figured out the mechanism to manufacture complex machines in high volume.
Yeah.
I mean, he essentially mechanized human labor.
See, I look at that and think about a bottleneck, though. Because 9 years prior, on August 21st, 1888, William S. Burroughs patented the first successful calculating machine.
Oh, interesting connection.
Right. It seems to me these tech leaps weren't just independent strokes of genius. Like, if you speed up physical production with assembly lines, human brains simply can't process the accounting and logistics fast enough anymore.
No, they can't.
The calculator had to be invented just to keep the automated factories running. It was almost forced into existence.
It's a total chicken and egg scenario.
Right.
Did the calculating technology enable the mass production? Or did the dizzying speed of the assembly line force the technology into existence? Either way, the sheer acceleration of commerce on this date is undeniable. And that conceptual momentum eventually transitions into literal propulsion.
Oh, you mean the rockets?
Yeah. August 21st, 1957. The Soviet Union successfully tests the R-7, which was the first intercontinental ballistic missile.
And on that exact same date, in 2002, we get the maiden flight of the Lockheed Martin Atlas V rocket.
Both represent these immense leaps in mastering thrust and escaping atmospheric limits.
Right.
And they are driven by the exact same imperative to scale and accelerate that we saw with the early assembly line.
And that drive to scale doesn't just apply to factories and rockets, it applies to nations too. Because if you look strictly at this historical record, without taking any sides here, the way global borders restructure on August 21st is stark.
Very much so. Take August 21st, 1959. The United States officially admits Hawaii as the 50th state.
Right, a peaceful absorption of territory.
Exactly. It is a massive expansion of borders through bureaucratic integration.
But then you look at the Soviet sphere on this exact same date, and it's fracturing.
Right.
August 21st, 1968. Romania publicly condemns the Warsaw Pact invasion of Czechoslovakia, which was the crushing of the Prague Spring.
A huge historical moment.
Huge. And then, August 21st, 1991, Latvia declares full independence right in the middle of the collapsing hardline coup against Mikhail Gorbachev.
Yeah.
It is literally like watching a smooth corporate merger happen on one side of the globe while the other side goes through this messy, hostile bankruptcy.
Well, it's because the underlying mechanisms of power are what's shifting.
Right.
In the case of Hawaii, as a geopolitical entity, power is consolidating.
Right.
But in Latvia and Czechoslovakia, you have central power failing to maintain its grip on peripheral territories. It's collapsing under the weight of internal independence movements, just stating the facts of the historical record.
Consolidating and fracturing, all on the 233rd day of the year.
Which actually brings us to one final August 21st event.
Okay, lay it on me.
1944, the Dumbarton Oaks Conference. Right. Representatives from the U.S., Britain, the Soviet Union, and China all met on this day to draft the blueprint for what would eventually become the United Nations.
So the seeds of modern global unity were planted on the exact same calendar date that empires broke apart and ICBMs were launched.
That's exactly right.
That just leaves you with a really profound question about how history actually moves. I mean, are we driven by these long, creeping trends, or do massive paradigm shifts happen in highly concentrated bursts on random Tuesdays?
It makes you wonder.
It really does. Maybe history doesn't just flow. Maybe it jumps. Keep that in mind the next time you flip the calendar page.
Hi viewers, family and friends. How did you like the content of this video? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please write in the comments your name and the place you are watching from. Since our viewing family is spread all over the world, it will be nice to know which city and the country you are watching from, so I can say hello to you. Science and technology. Reading and listening to the historical accomplishments on this date of those who have gone before us, I, as a professional engineer with interest in structural engineering, energy-efficient buildings, ICF construction, and as Google Docs expert with interest in spreadsheet-based solutions, draw inspiration to ask of myself the million-dollar question. What would I accomplish today? Think about the Japanese practice of Kaizen. Let me know in the comments, what would you accomplish today? Your subscribing to the channel inspires me to post more such videos. Thanks for your patronage. See you in the next video. Sincerely, Yogi Anand.